Anonymous links, very useful, but when people want to continue with their survey on a different computer, it is very difficult to use an anonymous survey link, and to be able to allow people, when they've started putting in their information, to allow them to close the survey and continue on a different computer. Well, this little video explains to you how you can take an anonymous survey with an anonymous link and add a little footer here that says tired of answering questions, resume survey later. What that does is it creates a new email, which I'll just drag over here, and it says I'm partway through this survey. If I click this link, I will be able to resume the survey, even though it was a anonymous link, because what I'm doing is I'm creating a session ID and passing the session ID through. So if I actually copy that and go to a completely different browser, such as Safari, and paste it in, there's Safari, I'm pasting it in, you will discover that that session ID allows Safari on a different computer to know exactly what this user was up to, and will have their name, and you can continue working right away. So how did I do that? Well, not too hard, but it's done with JavaScript, so caution, do not rush customers down this path, because this stuff that I'm showing you is not supported. But it may help for a survey. If they're doing a survey, it's only going to last a week or a month. Chances are this will work for you. How did I do it? Well, the way I did it is, first of all, in the survey flow, I created a couple of variables. resumeUrl, that will be the URL that you saw that comes out in that email. The resumeUrlEncoded, which is a encoded version of that, where spaces are turned into %20, and Qualtrics.URL, which is a secret variable that you can actually set, and which will be set to the URL of the server that you're currently working on. So once those are set, then I put in something into the header for this survey. You can spread it across the header and the footer if you wish, but I've just put it into the header here, and I've actually put that in the library, but I will just show you what that header looks like. It simply looks like this. If I go to the source, paste it in, and I'll make this available near this video, and you can see that I set the value for QURL to whatever the embedded data variable was. I'll get the session ID. This is the secret piece, the secret source that is unsupported but works today, works with Jiffy. And then we construct a resumeUrl by saying, okay, redirect equals 0, session ID or survey session ID equals whatever that session ID is, and then also do a UU encode of that so that it's got the %3D, %20, etc. And then we set embedded data resumeUrl, set embedded data resumeUrlEncoded, and we're pretty much done. The last thing I do, of course, is in this footer is I put a message saying, are you tired of answering questions? And then there's a mail to with your email address that says, you know, use this URL, which includes the encoded URL. So that produces that message that usually appears at the bottom there, but it's not appearing just now, but it usually does. And the only last thing that is worth noting is that on the very first question, you don't really want that resume to appear. So I've put some JavaScript in here to, after 1 second, after the page is loaded and painted, to hide the footer. Hide the footer. And that way, if I do a preview survey, you'll see that on question 1, it very briefly shows that, but then it disappears, because we don't really want to show that on the first page, really only on the second page. And it's the same with the final end of survey message. Shabam, it disappears as well, because I've said in that final end of survey message, put this into the footer as well, so that it removes that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And I will leave the code near this video.